You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
And welcome to another podcast of the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I wanted to come to you today because there are some things that you need to be doing for this year end. I know that you don't want to think about it, you don't want to talk about it, you don't even want to contemplate it, and that's your tax preparation for 2017, which is coming up in January. So it's not too far, just a few weeks longer, and it's going to be tax time again. So this is what I want you to do, okay? Today I want you to sit down with your HR department, go over your W-4. That's what you tell the HR or the payroll department to take out. But we're not talking about for next year. We're talking about for 2017. You need to sit down with your tax accountant as quickly as possible and figure out how much you're going to owe or how much you might receive back as a refund for 2017. Now, if tax reform changes, 2018 will be totally different. So we're not filling out a new W-4 for 2018. We're doing it for 2017. We need to figure out with your tax accountant exactly where you stand tax-wise at this moment. You have to know, because if you don't know that answer, if you don't know where you stand, you may owe taxes for 2017. So why not be proactive and sit down with your tax accountant, find out what's going on, what you need to do to change on your 2017 W-4 to take out a little bit more taxes in case you need it. Or you might even be able to withdraw back. In other words, don't take as much out. But you need to sit down with your tax accountant before this weekend or for next week, because it is vital that you know where you stand tax-wise, and you need to adjust your W-4 that way. Now, those of you who are doing exempt, a stupid move, because you're going to owe taxes at the end of the year, and then you're going to blame your tax accountant because you do. If you have claimed exempt and you do not qualify for that exemption status, you will be in trouble with penalties, interest and penalties, because you did not take enough taxes out. So that's going to be your fault. I talk to people every single year who have claimed exempt on their W-4, and every single year at the end of the year they owe $4,000 because they did not take enough taxes out, because you went exempt. And a lot of you do not qualify for the exemption status. The exemption status is very clear on who qualifies for that status. And if you don't qualify, let me tell you, if the IRS catches up with you, it is going to be a criminal case against you. They can file a criminal case against you for filing that exempt status and not qualifying for exempt status. And I see people do this year after year after year. Those of you who are doing it year after year after year and you do not qualify, expect that criminal charges will come your way. I hate to be the scary butt on this thing, but it's just the issue. You need to look at that. So, talk to your tax accountant, then go talk to your HR and fill out a new W-4 so that you're taking the correct amount of taxes out. And those of you who are claiming exempt who do not qualify, I'm not visiting you in jail, okay? So that's just not going to happen. So you need to be more proactive on your tax issues. Be more proactive on your tax issues. The other issue I want to talk to you about is those of you who own businesses. If you have not prepared your financial statements, that means your income statement and your balance sheet by now, and you're going to wait until the very last minute, you're going to file late. I see this happen every year. No one's done it, and then people come into us and want us to do it, and then we have to take time to go through your financial statements. Now is the time to do that. Contact your tax accountant or contact our office, and we will help. We will prepare your financial statements for you for the year end, but we need all of your bank statements and everything now so that we can get ahead of the game. So if you own a business, if you own a corporation, if you own an LLC or an S Corp or whatever you own, or even if you're filing a Schedule C on your individual tax return, you need to be working with your accountant right now so that your financial statements are up to date. Don't wait until January or February to do it. Do it right now, okay? Because it makes it so much easier and you can file on time. And let me tell you, when you do not do that, you owe the accountant a lot more money because he's got to prepare your financial statements in a rush. And you never want to prepare financial statements in a rush. Get everything to your accountant or get everything to our office right now so that we can prepare those financial statements and get ready for the tax return for that we need to file before March 15th, okay? Be proactive, guys. Get this stuff done right now. I know you're out there doing all of your shopping and spending money and having fun and going to Christmas parties, but be proactive and really focus on your tax issues right this very, very moment. When you are proactive and you're better organized, it makes so much more sense to the accountant when he gets your data. And if your data is pretty well organized, he can do a pretty good tax return that is in compliance with the federal and state tax laws. But you need to be proactive and you need to be smart about this. Sit down with your accountants, your tax accountants right now, or call our office or send us an email. Go to our website at www.lodge-co.com. Call us, and we will sit down and get all this done for you. But it needs to be done very quickly. Don't wait until the very last minute. Okay? So those are the two things I wanted to talk about on being proactive. The other issue is that when you sit down with your tax accountant, as you're going over everything, look to see if it wouldn't be advisable for you to pay just a little bit more on your interest, on your home interest, so that you can take that into, and in other words, pay the January interest in the last part of this year of December for your mortgage interest. And that way you can take that deduction for this year, because you may lose it next year. We don't know what's going to happen tax-wise on the tax reform bill. So if you act proactive and just talk to your tax accountant about those issues and see if there isn't something that you can take this year that you may be losing next year, because we just don't know yet. So I would suggest that you sit down with your tax accountant and talk about these various issues that may affect you for 2017, and that you can, and maybe some of those additional deductions that you can take in 2017 on your tax return. Now, I also wanted to talk about tax reform. Okay, we are still in the process of having the Senate and the Congress meet together with their two tax reform packages and kind of mold them all together and picking out what is good and what is bad and trying to get a good tax package for the American people by the end of 2017. So we will have tax changes for, I'm assuming, for 2018 that will affect you. We just don't know what they're going to be. We kind of know, but we just don't know what is actually going to become law. So if you want to make your voice heard, and if you want tax reform to go through, have some guts and contact your state, your Senate and your congressional representative and tell them, hey, get off their butts and pass tax reform, because that's what the American people really asked for. That was the mandate that we sent to Washington, D.C. back in November of 2016. So be proactive, be aggressive with your senators and congressmen. Don't hesitate to send them an email or a fax or even call their office. you can still get a lot of things done. So your voice is heard by them. You may not think it is, but when more voices rise up, it means that they need to listen. That's their job, really, as a representative of you and me, is to listen to us. Because we know what is better for us than they do. So we need to tell them we need simplified tax reform. We need simplified reporting process. We don't want to deal with the IRS anymore on deductions that get audited by the IRS. We want a tax rate that is more fair and balanced to you and me. And we want those 74,000 pages of tax code to get reduced because they're just too complicated. So that's it for today. This is Mike Lodge. Let's get proactive. I'll talk with you soon.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.
You can ride all the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and sit in you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend. And call me anytime when you're at a tight end. You, I got you, and you got me too. We can always make it through. What we do is what we do. I can take you anywhere, somewhere. We won't be scared. You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and sit in you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend. And call me anytime when you're at a tight end. You, I got you. You got me, got me. You got me, got me. You got me too.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.